hell, I've never noticed that. That's so awesome. Like, that's the cool thing. Like, all of these locations that you go to around the world are exaggerated and cartoony and caricaturized, but it's still like, yo, that's cool. You're, like, representing this different culture. And it's like, it's a celebration of all these different cultures, of all these global cultures. And I just feel like that's such a cool thing. Like, you know, Sonic is known and beloved and played all over the world. And then here you have a Sonic game that's like... That would be cool, you know? It's cool to play a game though that to see... I'm reminded of like how again, my number one example for this kind of thing is always going to be Punch-Out, because that's like kind of the exemplary example of positive stereotypes, I guess. Come on. There we go. I want these rings. I don't even know why. There we go. We're like, so this upgrade's actually pretty annoying. Yeah, except there's no level yet. There's no... We would be doing it for no reason. Yeah, we tutorialized this new ability, and you can't... Fuck. There was no level to jump into yet, because you're supposed to do the Werehog level first. Of, like, these Canadians. This Canadian, like, podcast. Not a Canadian podcast, but, like, the podcasters are of Canadian nationality. And they were talking about Punch-Out, and they're like... When Super Punch-Out had a Canadian character, like, a Canadian stereotype character, they were like, dude, that's so fucking cool. And, like, that's a feeling that when you're from Canada, especially, you probably don't get that very often. You probably don't get to see cartoony stereotypes of your culture so often. So when that happened, when Super Punch-Out happened, and there was that Canadian character, they were like, yeah, that's so cool! He's a fucking lumberjack, and he drinks maple syrup! And he's married to a beaver! That's fucking hilarious! And he plays hockey! That's so cool! Like, you get hype! When you see your culture depicted in this style, in like a cartoony, exaggerated style, like, yeah, that's so true. I'm also reminded of when I went and saw the Book of Mormon. Fuck. I was trying to break that. When I went and saw the Book of Mormon, the people I were sitting next to in the theater, the theatra, were Mormons! And they were like, ah, that's true, that's so true. Like, they were laughing and clapping at all the stereotypes and all the funny jokes they were spent. You know, when someone cracks jokes about your nationality and shit, or, like, depicts it in that way, it's not even really cracking jokes. It's like it's such a weird, interesting thing that... it's not even weird, but it's such an interesting thing that it's hard to think of, like... It almost feels like there's no words for it. You know, you just get it. You just understand. When you see, like, because stereotype isn't the right word. It has such a negative connotation to it. And that's clearly not, like, what's happening. So our politically correct culture doesn't have a suitable term to explain what I'm trying to describe, but you get what I'm talking about, right? You know, you see that in a game or anything, and you're like, that's awesome. You know, you can tell the difference between good-natured depictions of that type and negative ones. And when you see the good-natured ones, you're like, yeah, that's awesome, alright. So it's just, I think it's cool that this is a game where if you're someone who's living in China, and you get to this part, you're like, oh yeah, and oh man, this isn't even like... Guess what? There's a level where, like, we're doing the nighttime mission now. But guess what? There's a level where Sonic's running around on the fucking Great Wall of China. That's fucking hype, right? That's so fucking cool. It's like this celebration. Of different just fuck. You know, I'm going in circles because I'm not I can't think of the words to properly articulate what I'm talking about, but you get it, right? You understand what I'm talking about. But I'm like so frustrated by my inability to properly express it. But you get it. And that's something cool that this game does. I'm like, how fucking nifty, you know? That's a positive aspect to this game. You know, it has, like, there's merit. I'm trying to emphasize because, like, my entire point is not for me, but that doesn't mean that I think the game is bad. I just would rather play something else, just honestly. Like, it's not because I'm having trouble with it. I'm not even getting frustrated by it. I just feel like, I wouldn't pick this over, say, the game we're gonna get to after this, for example. But that doesn't mean I don't like it. I mean, that doesn't mean I think it's a bad game. Unlike certain people, right? Anyway. Gotta let that go. Like, this is so not even... Fuck off. Suck my dick. The plants! Anyway. It's so hard to think of, like, how to qualify this game, too, because, like I said, oh, Jesus. The fucking frame rate. Because, like I said, it's Sonic World Adventure. A lot of it comes down to, I feel like, they weren't sure where they were gonna go with the series after this, right? They knew they were leaving the adventure formula behind, but they didn't know what they were gonna do after that, right? Like, okay, we're done with the adventure formula. And thus moving on to what, exactly? So, a lot of what's in this game feels kind of like they were throwing it against the wall to see what stuck. You know, maybe Professor Pickle could have become a mainstay character of the franchise after this. Maybe he would have really stuck around. Maybe it would have... Maybe the, like, kind of weird stuff that they did in this game and then never showed up again. Hey, for all you know, maybe that's where the series would have gone after this. That would have been a major part of it. It didn't, but, you know, how do you know if you don't experiment? Using that spiral attack is fucking dangerous because of the fucking... Like, occasionally you'll have an arena like this, where, see, look, again, there's so much more variety to the enemy designs with the Dark Gaia than there are with the Badmans. Look at these bees. Look at these fucking bees. Robotnik used to have bees. Robotnik used to have bees. No more. No more. Instead, Dark Gaia is picking up the slack and making bees. I mean, I guess it also makes sense to a sense of, like, you're racing through the environment so fast as Sonic the Hedgehog that you're not going to be able to appreciate or even really notice the enemy design of the enemies that you're just, of the badniks that you're just fucking blasting through. So I guess, to a degree, it makes sense to be like, ah, fuck it. Just have, like, 3. Just have, like, 3 badniks. Whatever. Nope. Almost looked like you could walk on that, but nope. Yeah, see, on the Werehog stages, I mean, you're kind of being conditioned to explore the environment anyway. So you're like, unless you're just racing through the levels being like, I'm not looking at or around anything or anything about the environment around me, I'm just gonna fucking burn through it and not pay attention at all. Like, if you're doing that, then maybe it'll be like, oh, Jesus, why would you do this? Okay? I'm platforming here. Stop doing that. The fuck? God damn it! That's fine. We already collected all this shit. Love me some bottomless pit syndrome. See, it's no big deal. Just fucking bam, just blasting through these guys. It's so not even a thing. But yeah, it's really during the Werehog stages that you're gonna be finding the majority of your medals. Like, for one thing, there's always a lot of medals in the Werehog stages. So personally, I don't think, like, the medal collecting is that humongous a concern. Nice. Okay, let's think. Okay, let's... Fuck! Ah, come on. It's the fact that, like, the cutscenes that's annoying. Fuck. So this looks like a new thing. I mean, new gameplay. So they might as well say, like, okay, let's see what else new and different we can do with the franchise conventions and this formula going forward to coincide with this new gameplay. Like, maybe we'd have seen a lot more of the Werehog after this game. Maybe this... Okay, then. Maybe this wasn't the only game we'd have seen the Werehog in. Come on, camera! Ugh, fucking A. It's for single moon medal, it's not worth it. It almost feels like, yeah, I guess it's a, like, you have this new style of gameplay, like, Sonic plays in such a new way compared to what came before. It feels natural to go like, okay, new style of gameplay, new way that the character controls. We've reinvented him in terms of how he plays. Why not reinvent... Okay. Why not reinvent him in terms of everything else, too? Again, why not come up with a fucking character like Professor Pickle? You don't know. Try something new. Just throw against the wall. How are you gonna know what spaghetti's gonna stick if you don't just throw every spaghetti that you have and throw it out there? And I don't know what came first. Like, which do you think came first? The idea of it's Sonic traveling around the world and visiting all these different locations, and the game was built around that? Or did that come as a natural conclusion from experimentation and deciding to try and do new different things? Where they're like, let's do new different things, and of the new different things that they came up with, like the spaghetti that's stuck against the wall, they were like, hey, this would, like, really work for this style of game where you're traveling around the world. We're like, how am I trying to say this? Which, like, it's a chicken or the egg question of, did they come up with the idea of going on a world adventure and traveling around the planet and interacting with all these different cultures, or was that just one of the things that got thrown against the wall? Was the idea of traveling around and experiencing all these different cultures just thrown out there as a random idea? Like, just throw everything out there, see what works and what doesn't. And they went, hey, that works really well. And, like, polished it up, you know? Where they didn't know when they started making the game that it was going to be a Sonic World adventure, but the idea that would lead to the decision to make the game Sonic World Adventure get further expanded upon from one of the ideas that was originally just chucked out there as a fuck it, everyone, like, if you put it in the suggestion box. Whew. Let's see what we can do with this franchise now. And that just, like, that gelled the best. You know? Anyway. Stuff like that I become curious about. Stuff like that where I'm like, was the fact that it became a fun kind of celebration of, like it's kind of almost like a reverse anniversary game, where an anniversary game is a celebration of Sonic. And this game, it feels like it's a celebration of us. It's a celebration of the fans. It's a celebration of the world that is beloved. That is beloved by Sonic. That not is beloved by Sonic. Like, oh, Sonic beloves the world. Like, no. It's a celebration of the world that is a fan of Sonic. That we enjoy. We're fans of the character. We're fans of the games. Here's a game celebrating you, the devoted fans. To the, you know, the cultures, all of them, to which Sonic has become this mainstay, this pop cultural icon. Here's a Sonic game about you, where Sonic is traveling around this world that loves him so, and is enjoying and taking part in that world, and in the people who live in it, you know? Stuff like that, like, thinking about it in those terms. Like, it just puts a warm and fuzzy feeling, you know? Get a warm and fuzzy feeling thinking about it like that, right? At least I do, you know? Yeah, it's a reverse anniversary game. An anniversary game is a game that celebrates Sonic. This is a game that celebrates the world that celebrates Sonic. That's a fun way to look at it. Fuck you guys. See what I mean about how this one move just trivializes all the combat encounters? Really wish I had this move back in that level where I was trapped in the room with the Eggman robots and died because I didn't have this move yet. There we go. And if we wanted to, there's stuff to collect. Nah, fucked it up, and now I gotta do that again. My own hubris! My own hubris! See, no problem. That didn't take much time at all. I think I did better that time than I did the first time. Do you see what I mean about how, like, they just exaggerate the... Like, to hear certain people talk about it, like, the werehog makes the game completely not even worth playing at all. And I just do not understand that. There we go. Yeah, for a single moon medal. That was worth it. Considering moon medals are, like, in the minority of nighttime stages. Like, it's kind of backwards, where during the daytime stages, there are a lot more moon medals, and during the nighttime stages, there are a lot more sun medals. We kind of have all the combat moves we need, aka that one move that we're just gonna keep using over and over again, and really kind of nothing else. Let's get one more. Let's do one more, just to get to an even 15, because that's just the kind of psycho that I am. Like, it's gotta be an even number, right? Whoa, what was that? Little words in the lower right-hand corner for like a second. It's a boss that is an Eggman. What is this, Sonic Adventure? Non-Eggman robot boss. Look at Chip's ninja pose. Did you see it? Did you see the ninja pose? It's important. Ah, fuck you. Had to do it right, yeah, just out of spite against me. You did this. Fuck you. Go ahead and grab this. Yeah, that's if you wanted to criticize this game for a valid reason. If you want a valid reason to criticize this game, oh, them QuickTime events. Oh, them QuickTime events. You wouldn't be wrong. You know what improves the game? QuickTime event. Yeah. That's something you want to have in your video game. But again, like, when did this game come out? 2008. Look at the games that were on the shelf next to this game. Sonic has always kind of been a series that defined itself by what its competition was at the time. You can start to understand a lot of decisions that were made in regards to Sonic, like, development decisions in Sonic games based on looking at what other games around Sonic were doing. Something I also like in regards to the music is if you listen to the music during this boss fight, it's actually like a fucked up reprise of the main theme song. Like, it is doing Endless Possibility, but it's like like, it's still the da-da-da-da-da-da. That's not Endless Possibility, it's like the theme of the main menu. It has a name, I forget. But it's not Endless Possibility. It's like performed by the Tokyo Symphonic Orchestra, which is really fucking cool. As you'll see when we hit the credits of this game. Like the Tokyo Symphonic Orchestra. Fuck, stop it. There we go. Did that, like, main title orchestral theme. Shit! And the music you're hearing now is like a fucked up, scrungy reprise of that song, which is really cool. I mean, I ain't no big music boy, but even I notice stuff like that. Yeah, hey, do you like doing the exact same QuickTime event 3 times in a row? I mean, yeah, that's a little, Again, I'm not saying like... I like how Sonic is self-aware about the nature of the rule of 3 when it comes to video game bosses. A little bit of that from Sonic from Shadow the Hedgehog carried over, where he's like, oh yeah, game over.
You alright?
Yes, thank you.
Like, that's my thing, like... I never tried to claim that the Werehog gameplay is super great or anything. I didn't say it's exceptional, it's painfully average. It's like not even worth talking about. It's so blasé, it's so whatever. Oh, you fight a big boss guy in a sequence of 3, and you do a QuickTime event to take him down. You know, whatever. That's not bad. That's unexceptional, you know? It's nothing special. It's barely even worth commenting on. But people take it and go like, oh, look at how bad it is. Not really! You know? Whatever. I wonder how, like, what happens to the oceans. How long would it take to drain the ocean if, like, you had a crack down the middle of the, into the core of the planet like that, right? Ah, he's way more fruity now.
He's come back to his senses.
I see.
He's back to being a pride float.
The Chaos Emerald Temple. You must have gone berserk when the emeralds lost their power.
What? Why? What? Now the Chaos Emeralds are part of these weird Dark Gaia temples, and they have these weird giant monster guardians who take care of them, and their well-being is connected to the state of the Chaos. What? I'm just gonna sit up here. Like, that's what I mean by, like, there's just nothing of substance to the story in this game. It doesn't add anything new to the lexicon of the Sonic universe, you know? Look at all the food. You know how much food? Once again, a huge theme of this game is food.
Current status is 27% complete. Progress is significantly behind projected timetable. Presumed cause of delay is Dark Gaia's dispersion across the globe.
Oh, of all the lazy, here I go to the trouble of waking that Dark Gaia thing up, and it causes me nothing but delays.
Dark Gaia had yet to reach maturity within the planet's core, ergo it was still incomplete at the time of its awakening, ergo it was unable to sustain its own weight upon its release, ergo it scattered around the world.
I I don't want to hear about its weight issues. So what if I gave it a bit of a sudden awakening? This is unacceptable.
Ergo, this is the repercussion of your hasty actions.
What was that? I'm having a bad enough day as it is. First that professor runs off with the Gaia manuscripts, and now the planet's coming back together.
That, Doctor, is the result of the power of the Chaos Emeralds, which you discarded along with Sonic. Ergo, another repercussion of
Told
your
you.
hasty actions.
What a sassy bot! What a sassy robot! So sassy.
You junkie! That was all part of my plan, part of the big picture. Where's the fun in having my plans succeed without any challenge? Anyway, what's the status of the remaining temples of Gaia?
Eggman forces have currently secured all locations. Defensive preparations are nearly complete.
That'll take care of Sonic for now, which leaves the problem of Dark Gaia. It'd be difficult to collect every piece scattered all across the world.
Searching conventional wisdom banks for topical advice. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Slow and steady is the race. Nobody likes a whiner.
Isn't there a more efficient way? Some way to, well, I don't know, gather them all up at once. Wait, that's it, of course! With this, all of my plans will be